From the Daytona International Speedway, the Busch Clash, Olympic Winterfest, countdown to Albertville.
From the network of the 1992 Olympic Winter Games, next, CBS Sports presents NCAA basketball.
Fayetteville, Arkansas is nestled in the Ozark Mountains, and on a Sunday morning is one of the coziest and quietest places there is. Not this Sunday. On this, the 10th of February, 1991, the silence will turn to thunder. Welcome to Barnhill Arena in quiet little Fayetteville, Arkansas, which today is hosting the big game. And in college basketball, how do you say big? Try this. Number 1 versus number 2, the Runnin' Rebels of Nevada, Las Vegas against the Razorbacks of Arkansas. And hi again, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien, and Jim Nance, Billy Packer, and Leslie Visser will join us in a moment. And welcome to the road to the Final Four here on CBS, and to a rather enthusiastic setting for a game that college basketball fans from the desert in Las Vegas to the mountains here and beyond have had on your calendars for a long, long time. Let us begin with the defending champions. UNLV is on some kind of a roll. They have won 30 in a row. They are 19-0 this season. They have been walking, running over and through all of their opponents, and they are quite simply an awesome group of athletes. But so is Arkansas. The Razorbacks are 23-1 and have a little streak of their own, winning their last 20. The experts, and believe me, there have been a lot of them talking this week, say if anybody is going to beat UNLV, it is this Arkansas team here and today. If both teams are telling us the truth, and they've told this with straight faces, they said they haven't thought about this game that much this week. They arrived here at Barnhill Arena earlier this morning. There you see the big O, Oliver Miller, as he arrived this morning. The Razorbacks had one of the toughest practices we have ever seen yesterday in this arena, and they say they're ready today. On the other hand, the Rebels had a terrible practice, and Tarkanian is said to be as nervous as he has ever been going into this game. Well, quite simply, you are going to be treated to some tremendous ball players today, and we begin with Larry Johnson. Besides being the All-America from UNLV, he is basically an all-everything on the court, arguably one of the greatest college players on earth. His partner, Stacey Augmon. You like defense? You're looking at the man, one of the best defensive players in this country. Getting the assignment to cover Augmon, lucky him, Arkansas's Todd Day. The Bone leads the Southwest Conference in scoring, already one of the greatest Razorbacks of all time, and he told me he's been dreaming about this game, and folks, he says there haven't been nightmares. Day gets the ball from teammate Lee Mayberry. Mayberry is the ringmaster for the Hogs and is filling up the books with assist records. One, a durable player. Today's start will be his 92nd consecutive. And you want a coaching matchup? We've got one as well. Jerry Tarkanian and Nolan Richardson. And Jim Nance, the man who will be calling the game for us today, is standing by with the Hogs coach. Jimmy?
All right, Pat, thank you very much. At last, the game is here. All season long, college basketball fans have waited for it. Has it been hard to keep your team focused all season waiting for this matchup?
I'll tell you, it's been very difficult. It's, you know, Vegas is a great ball club, and they've demolished a lot of basketball teams, and our people have been waiting for this game for a long, long time.
Coach Richardson, I have to ask you, other than the tremendous home court advantage you'll have here today, where else do you feel Arkansas has an edge on Vegas in this game?
Well, I don't think we have an edge. The only thing that bothers me right now about our ball club is that we're playing one of the top rebounding teams in the country, and we're not even that good on our all-conference. So if we can hold our own on the boards, then we got a chance to do something real well here today.
All right, best of luck to you, Nolan Richardson. Let's go across the court now to my partner, Billy Packer. Billy?
Thanks an awful lot, Jim, and I'm here with Jerry Tarkanian. Jerry, I don't know when you're going to get one of those pink jackets, but I like it the way they are. You mentioned yesterday a couple of things. The matchup between Augmon and Day, the best defender and the best offensive player at that position.
Well, you know, I think Day's probably the best offensive forward in the country, and you know, we think Augman's one of the best defensive forwards, so that should be a great matchup.
You used to play a wide-open 94-foot game. You have some interesting theories on the game of the 90, dropping back into more half-court. What is it?
We spend all our time now trying to build our half-court defense, Billy, because you play too many games. You know, last year we played 40 games. We played 13 games in February, almost every other day, and you get to, if you're full court pressing, I think it just wears you down. So we concentrate on half court now.
Jerry, you are now the winningest coach in the history of the game in terms of percentage, which means that you must set some unbelievable goals for your club. All of us think that would mean you got to win today, got to win another conference, got to win another national championship. What are your goals for this club?
You know, I've never in my coaching career ever talked about winning a game. Any one of my players will tell you, the only goal we ever set is to prepare ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally, do the best we can. We have no control over whether we can win or not, but we sure do have control over how hard we play.
183% of them. Leslie, let's go back to you.
Billy, Barnhill Arena is considered the Hades of college basketball. It's just as much of a pit as the Deaf Dome down at LSU or Cameron Indoor at Duke. It's snug. It only seats 9,000, and it's been sold out for 15 years. Nolan Richardson told me yesterday his first-grade teacher asked him for a ticket. Well, there won't be much crowd support here today for UNLV. The school was allotted only 70 tickets, and those are mostly in the upper deck. Jerry Tarkanian learned a few things, though, in 30 years of coaching. In the contract for this game, he insisted on 3 neutral referees. These officials today were from the Big East, so they're used to noisy arenas. Let's go up to Pat O'Brien, and Pat, I'll try to get you one of those hog hats.
I'll pass on that, Leslie. I don't know what that first-grade teacher got in. You know, there's not many places in the country where you spend a good deal of time doing stories on the fans, but as you can see here, this place merits another one. So here it is. When UNLV won the national championship, we knew they were a great team, but did we expect this much greatness? Now, after winning 30 in a row, they're saying to everybody else, catch us if you can.
Here they come again. Catch us if you can. Time to get a move on. We were young with all of our might. Catch us if you can. 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 Now we gotta run. No more time for fun. When we're getting angry, we were young with all of our might. Catch us if you can. Catch us if you can. Catch us if you can. Catch us if you can.
And today, one of these teams will be caught. You know, somehow it seems that a public address system in this building would never be heard, but let's find out as we hear the player introductions, and here's your PA announcer, Mr. John George.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's game between the University of Nevada, Las Vegas Running Rebels and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Now let's meet the starting lineups for both teams. For UNLV, at forward, a 6'7" senior from Dallas, Texas, number 4, Larry Johnson. At forward, a 6'8" senior from Pasadena, California, number 32, Stacy Augman. At center, a 6'9" senior from Manteo Island, North Carolina, number 44, George Ackles. At guard, a 6'1" junior from Detroit, Michigan, number 12, Anderson Hunt. And at guard, a 6'2" senior from Las Vegas, Nevada, number 50, Greg Anthony. And the coach of the Running Rebels in his 18th year, Jerry Tarkanian. Richmond, Virginia, number 35, Isaiah Morris. At center, a 6'9" junior from Fort Worth, Texas, number 25, Oliver Miller. At guard, a 5'10" senior from Memphis, Tennessee, number 20, Arlen Bowers. And at guard, a 6'2" junior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, number 11, Lee Mayberry. And the coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks in his 6th year is Nolan Richardson.
The talk is over. The ball goes in the air after this final commercial. We'll see you at halftime. Enjoy the game, everybody.
If you
The 2 longest win streaks in college basketball, 30 in a row for UNLV, 20 straight. That's the 2nd longest by Arkansas, and about to collide now. And Billy, a big East officiating crew today.
Very critical to this game, Jim, because of the intensity level of the defense. Full court for Arkansas, that half-court pressure defense for Vegas. Both coaches, I'm sure, are going to watch the first couple minutes of this game and dictate just how much contact they can put on the defensive end of the court. But great officials that are brought in for this ball game.
George Ackles will jump for UNLV. Isaiah Morris for the Razorbacks. Oliver Miller.
Beautiful pass.
Right over to Bowers, who resets it now with Mayberry. Mayberry takes the jumper.
Surprising.
Rebound by Augman.
He had Miller wide open, uncovered underneath the basket. Unlike Mayberry to take that shot.
Todd Day almost with the steal, and a travel called on Stacey Augman.
Excellent overplay defense by Day, who has always been known as an offensive player till last summer. And he became Mike Krzyzewski's stopper defensively at the forward spot for the national team.
He's got some assignment today, Billy. Here's Oliver Miller down low, and was it tied up? No, they call a foul on Ackles.
That is called a solid screen that Oliver Miller put on with a beautiful pick-and-roll play. And UNLV will have to defend that a lot better than they did on that occasion.
They're going to say he was in the act of shooting. Oliver Miller will attempt 2. Junior from Fort Worth, 3rd in the nation in field goal percentage, 70% from the floor, missing the first.
Great shot blocker as well. Probably has, for a man his size, as quick a feet as I've ever seen in basketball. He's an excellent passer, good work ethic.
Ackles now gets it over to Anthony, still looking for the game's first points.
And quick hands as he really took it away from Augman.
Augman gets it back out high, and Hunt delivers it low to Larry Johnson. Good little pass to Augman, slam dunk to get it started on the scoreboard. And a steal by Augman, but he's out of bounds.
Jim, I'm going to make a little bit of an appraisal here. If Arkansas, which is their tactic, has that much overplay defense that far away from the basket, look for Larry Johnson to start posting up down low and have a big game inside, because there won't be a lot of help on the double team. Vegas goes zone.
Todd Day will take the 3. He's a good one.
Critical mistake by Anderson Hunt. He's got to recognize who's in that zone. Day has unlimited range.
Augman spins past Day in the corner. Hunt, he can shoot the 3. He made 6 of them last year in the game against Arkansas, won by Vegas. Quickly down court to Day, and a turnover committed by Arkansas.
Arkansas will run that break. Yesterday they worked on their break drills offensively. They start out 1-on-1, they go 2-on-2, 3-on-3, then 5-on-5. They run the break beautifully. You see how far out they're picking up UNLV.
Anthony misses the 3. Mayberry gets the 3 ball. On a wing to Morris.
Surprising he shot that ball straight in. They use the technique to shoot that ball off the boards in practice time and time again.
Free is Ackles. Over Miller. Nope, partially blocked by Miller. He has Bowers. Blocked by Hunt with a foul call.
Oliver Miller, one of the great shot blockers ever at Arkansas, will set the career and seasonal records in time. You can see his timing. He stayed down on the floor until Ackles went ahead and made his move, and then went up and beautifully not only blocked the shot, but kept control, which he probably does as well as any shot blocker in the country.
They called goaltending, Billy, on the basket by Bowers. Goaltending called against Hunt, so Bowers can make it a three-point play with this free throw.
As long as that ball was in contact of the hand, I don't know how they could go ahead and call goaltending.
No, I don't understand that one. But Bowers gives Arkansas the three-point lead early.
And here you can see full court pressure, not guarding Ackles. Miller back for safety.
Miller showing quickness again, batting it out of bounds. Billy, he set the single-season block record in the game against Houston this week, but still a little distance to go before he breaks Andrew Lang's career block record at Arkansas.
With plenty of time to go, that should be his.
Augman, three-point shot.
Good blocking out by Mayberry.
And Day picks up the rebound, swinging it back over to Mayberry. Drive in the lane and dishing to Miller. Loose ball picked up by Johnson. Oh, Day saw it coming. And a foul called on Johnson.
Ill-advised pass by Larry Johnson. He and Day going after each other verbally. Johnson was trying to get the ball over to Greg Anthony. Without question, he got him with a body. And we see two different bodies going up against each other here in this one. Larry Johnson, one of the strongest players in America, and Todd Day, extremely thin. Jim, going back to Vegas now, in terms of the way this game is being played, it's time to get Larry Johnson the ball down in low. They've been playing strictly on the perimeter.
Day, a 75% free throw shooter. Top scorer on the team, 22 a game. He now has 5, and it's a 5-point Arkansas lead. Stolen by Miller. The 4-on-3. Day high in the air. And a foul called on the shot by Hunt. That's his second.
Beautiful touch by Day just to get that ball softly up on the rim. Even if the shot is missed, they have a putback. The pass was headed for Larry Johnson. There's great anticipation by Oliver Miller, an extremely intelligent basketball player. The good dish. Now watch how soft Day gets his ball up on the rim, knowing Miller's there for the tap-in.
Foul was before the shot. They'll bring it in underneath. 4 fouls on UNLV, none on Arkansas. Little off-balance shot by Day, doesn't drop. Anthony, one-handed up to Augman, another dunk for Augman.
Excellent pass off the dribble, and Larry Johnson made that play by setting the screen, so Augman had nobody to pick him up. Back to man-to-man goes Vegas. Change their defense from the zone to man-to-man. Trying to slow this game down a little bit, surprisingly.
Where did you think this game was headed, Billy?
Well, we know that Nolan Richardson wanted to play at full blast on both ends of the court. It looks like UNLV would like to turn it into more of a half-court game.
Mayberry missing on the turnaround.
Pass.
To Hunt.
What a pass. That was about 75 feet. Strictly with a wrist.
5 for Hunt.
There's that solid screen coming up by Miller.
He can set him, like you said, Billy, and Mayberry loses control out of bounds. Turnover by Mayberry, but you got to love this point guard matchup today between Anthony and Mayberry.
Well, an adjustment's going to have to be made on the solid screens because you can't allow Mayberry to just come off that screen that easily.
And he's called for the block as Mayberry. That's the first on Arkansas in the game. And a timeout on the floor. Number 1 trailing by 1 in the game's first 4 minutes.
2 excellent passes by UNLV from the backcourt. Here we're going to see Greg Anthony fire this ball all the way down to a cutting Stacey Augman. Keep your eye, however, on Larry Johnson, who is going to set a great screen here to allow Augman to have the uncontested layup. Watch Johnson setting the screen. Augman goes in. No way a defender. Now in the next play, we'll see Larry Johnson with that pass I said was about 75 feet, just with the wrist, all the way down there. Hunt lays it in. Great plays.
And now Larry Johnson will inbound for UNLV.
Jim, I'm still waiting for Johnson in the low post. There he is.
Well, Morris works around him to deny position.
Jerry Tarkanian in that timeout said, we're going to let Larry Johnson get the ball down inside a little bit. He hadn't touched it yet down there today. You can see how much they're concentrating on the play. There it is.
And they got it over Morris, and Johnson banks it home. That's an old junior college matchup between those two today.
Well, Tarkanian didn't win 83% of his game sitting over there asleep on the bench, and it was so obvious that that's the place to go with that pressure on the perimeter.
6 unanswered points for the running Rebels. Day drives, and in the lane is called for a traveling violation.
Todd trying to make a play that Stacey Augman wouldn't let him have. A lot of jawing going on out there between Augman and Day right now.
Now Augman's turn to work on Day. Takes the step. Miller helped strip it free.
And Larry Johnson acknowledged that block by looking at Oliver Miller and saying that was a super play. Augman had beaten Day to the hoop. Great block.
Dave almost, yes, forces the steal. Arlen Bowers has it, and he'll go ahead and lay it in.
Now Ackles not getting into play.
Almost another steal, but it sets up now as a 4-on-1. Ackles, whoa.
Blocked that one. He'd have taken his arm off.
I'm telling you, don't get the arm in the way. Lobbing it over Ackles. And Miller.
Perfectly timed pass. Now Arkansas changing their defense a little bit. They're guarding everybody now so that Ackles can't be the guy that gets the easy pass in. Little zone pressure.
Back to Ackles, floating down the lane, and another basket for Ackles. 4 quick ones. Day at the other end. Offensive.
Oliver Miller showing he can throw the long baseball pass as well. A good job by Hunt getting all the way back on Day.
Day's second team foul on Arkansas. The man who usually is in foul trouble for this team, is prone to be in foul trouble, is Oliver Miller, but not a foul to this point. Now, a walk-on comes into the game for Arkansas, Ernie Murray. And Bowers will sit.
Hard to believe that a walk-on could play at this level of competition. Number 1, number 2. He has done a fine job for the club.
Hard to believe he can't find a scholarship for him. Last year he was a walk-on, one player. Michael Hogue quit the team, and they gave him a scholarship for the second semester. But this year he came back as a walk-on again.
Boy, Johnson is clearing out some people in the low post.
Anthony drove on Murray and scores the basket.
Neither team showing any fatigue at this point, even an emotional fatigue that might take place so early in a ball game. Trying to get the second win, but they don't need it yet.
Miller delivers it out high. Murray on the 3. There's the walk-on. Ernie Murray.
There's Augman.
And Oliver Miller called for the foul. Augman was losing control of it as he went up.
It's a good clean play, though, by Oliver Miller. There was no question in the mind of Stacey Augman that he was going all the way to the hoop on that play.
Billy, we were looking at some numbers, and in terms of national ranking statistics, scoring offense, UNLV's number 3. Margin of victory, they're on an all-time record pace. But you like the last 2 numbers.
Well, those are unbelievable, to be in the top of field goal shooting and also right near the top of field goal shooting percentage defense. Some combination. You can see also rebound margin, 3-point field goal percentage. And that margin of victory is one that has stood for a long time with the great UCLA Walton clubs back in '73.
Roosevelt Wallace is in for Arkansas.
Has proven to be an explosive scorer.
Augman makes 1 of 2. The long rebound comes back to Johnson, and UNLV will set the offense. Spencer in for UNLV. Elmore Spencer missing the turnaround. And maybe carry as they try to get the entry pass back to Elmore Spencer. Oliver Miller would have had a sure lay-in. Instead, it's a three-point shot. Murray missing. Quick outlet again to Anthony. 3 on 2. Augman.
What we're having right now is UNLV starting to get their break going because Larry Johnson and before Ackles and now Spencer are able to out-rebound them 3 against 2 inside.
Wallace traveled.
And Jim, that could be a factor. If UNLV can release 3 men and count on Johnson and now Spencer to control those boards, then Arkansas can't crash everybody to the board.
Dropping it into the 7-footer Elmore Spencer. Oh, boy, they just keep coming up with great players, don't they, Billy?
And as we said at the top of the show, K.O. Miller, and they've got 10 to give, and that's what Jerry Tarkanian's doing right now. He's going to make Miller work against 2 fresh people.
Onjurian and makes the 15-footer.
Led this club in scoring as a freshman, had to sit out in '89 due to some personal problems, but has come back well since then.
Johnson working on Roosevelt. And a foul called on Arkansas.
One of the things that's so difficult in guarding Larry Johnson is that he has great moves with the pivot. And as you saw right there, he gets a man up in the air, and he's got all that power and all that body to keep his man away, and then those great pivot moves that he uses. It's almost hard to stop him down there without committing a foul.
Let's watch now Arkansas with Miller on the bench. And they'll go inside with Roosevelt Wallace and Isaiah Morris as he returns.
What I would expect we'd see during this period of time is UNLV to get their break going really well. And look for Anderson Hunt to pull up and take a 3 off the break.
How did you like the sedate way that UNLV came out for the starting lineups?
I like a lot of things about this team, Jim. We watched them practice yesterday. They've got great camaraderie between this team. There's no hot dog in them at all. They all pull together. Man-to-man.
Wallace, somebody blew an assignment. He was wide open.
Right, missed assignment.
Look at that snap pass to Hunt.
He was ready for the 3. Murray knew where he was. Good move.
Hoffman back out to Anthony. Good save.
Spencer a little shaky with his ball handling.
There's a 3. Air ball by Hunt. But off the hands of Morris. And a timeout. Timeout on the floor. Now Vegas has taken the lead. UNLV with a 2-point lead nearing the midway point first half. Nance along with Billy Packer. Pat O'Brien coming up at the half. But Leslie Visser joins us right now with a report. Leslie?
Jim, in the last timeout, Jerry Tarkanian told his team to tell him if anyone gets tired not to rush their shots and for the centers to look for the high-low. On the opposite end, Nolan Richardson told his team they've got to stop the fast break. We'll look for it, Jim.
All right, Leslie. Both teams shooting over 60%. The biggest difference in the statistical categories would be rebounding, where Vegas holds a 9-3 edge. And that's been a real shortcoming for Arkansas, Billy, is rebounding.
It has, Jim. You don't see the number 2 team in the nation very often being a team that on the year is being out-rebounded. The high-low post is to get Larry Johnson open, and there was the case. Another great block.
That time by Morris.
Surprised Johnson that he was there on the weak side.
Anthony bats it out of bounds. Oliver Miller will come in now, and they'll take out Wallace.
We have some wide bodies in this game, regardless of the size in terms of height. Wallace looks like a defensive linebacker. Bowers could be a defensive back. Oliver Miller could be whatever he wanted to be.
And Larry Johnson may be the thickest player in college basketball.
Spencer on the block.
Fury gets it back. Gets the pass underneath. Miller slam dunk.
Spencer's got to protect home base first before he takes off on the break.
Game is tied. 11 minutes to go first half. Anthony on the jumper. Too strong. Rebound underneath Johnson. He'll lay it in. He's the top scorer for the Runnin' Rebels. 23 a game. Quickly at the other end. A steal by Spencer. Will Hunt dunk it? Yes.
And Jim, this is what I see unfolding, and that's the fact that the defensive balance is not there. Anytime Mayberry drives, Vegas is sending 2 men long.
Another turnover. Bowers threw it away, and Morris was cutting to the basket. Todd Day returns to the lineup for the Razorbacks. Later today, LSU and Duke. You know, Duke in non-ACC games at home, Billy, has won 63 in a row. As they'll challenge Shaquille O'Neal, and then same-day coverage of the Busch Clash and an Olympic Winterfest. Big lineup for you this afternoon on CBS Sports. Stay with us.
Of course, Shaquille O'Neal doesn't play very well on the road. Only had 38 points and 17 rebounds on the road against Georgia the other day.
Not well at all.
No. Great hard-nosed man-to-man. Illegal screen by Spencer, got away with it.
Hoffman throws it away. 6th turnover on the running Rebels.
I'm really shocked at the fact that Vegas cannot get the ball to Larry Johnson in the low post. Right now he's being guarded by Rod Hury, who has no chance to handle him down low.
Day got a screen for a moment, so Johnson makes the switch. Miller is there for the offensive rebound.
Spencer the outlet man, but he gets rid of it wisely in a hurry. Good double team.
Anthony finds Augman on the baseline. That's 3 dunks in the first half for Augman alone. And another errant pass by the Razorbacks.
But that's the way they play, Jim. They're going to force that ball up the court on all occasions, normally wearing the other club down. But Vegas is in excellent shape, and they're deep, so I don't believe that's going to be a factor in this game.
Here's a guy that gives them more depth at UNLV, Everett Gray. He brings 9 points off the bench for Coach Tarkanian.
In less than 20 minutes of play in a game.
Here he'll have a chance. Oh, as he goes up for the dunk, Miller takes a piece of the arm. Two on Miller now. Team foul number 5.
What happens to a great shot blocker is most people tried to avoid him. What's taking place right now in the case of Augman, Spencer, Johnson, and that time Gray, they're taking the ball right to Miller, which doesn't give him the room to maneuver as a shot blocker. Consequently, he's picking up the fouls.
Right.
One more, and Nolan Richardson's going to have to put him down for the remainder of the half.
Here's another basketball player with a baseball background. He was a 3rd-round pick of the Astros in '87 was Everett Gray. Makes 1 of 2. Still trying to figure out the nickname for Bowers, how it works. They call him Truck at 5'11".
Well, he was a great running back as a junior high school football player. That's where he got the nickname.
And Miller score it, and a foul. Foul called on Gray. Watch Miller go up aggressively.
Again, the good pick and roll move. Curie doing a nice job because Spencer had to come over to help out. And the key to that, again, is that Vegas has had him a hard time with the pick and roll maneuvers. Perfect timing. Spencer had to commit.
Augman comes back in for UNLV. Miller will shoot a free throw. Here's the least likely guy on campus that needs a bodyguard. But how does he come to Barnhill today? He's got 2 policemen.
One on each side. He looked like Frank Broyles after a winning football game. Not a good pass by Larry Johnson. Great
what a save by Anthony. And Spencer wasn't ready for it. Miller snaps it today. Dunk time.
Now what's happening? Vegas has got themselves a problem in their alignment. Spencer is too often in a position to be the ball handler in the middle, and he's not capable. Good run by a pressing team.
The dunk ties it. Day is fouled as he was about to pass it back out high to Mayberry. Spencer's first, team foul number 6.
And we see Spencer right there, and it's really not his fault. He's in a position that he does not play well. So when you're passing to somebody, you've got to remember who he is, and he got caught in the open court area right there. This young man's going to be an outstanding player. He's going to have to work on his footwork, but right now this game is kind of getting by him right in regard to the technicalities of the way Arkansas is playing.
Ackles is back in for UNLV. Day was disappointed. He wanted free throws, but they brought it inbounds underneath. second. And now they're in the bonus at the 1-on-1 with a 17 foul.
Jim, what happened right there is that Gray has to understand as a weak side rebounder, he's got to block out first before going for the ball. He just released to the ball, allowed Hury to come right over his side. Hury had a streak of 22 straight from the foul line this year. The best free throw shooter on the club.
This is the man who really opened up the floodgates in the recruiting area of Memphis for the Razorbacks. He was Nolan Richardson's first big-time recruit here.
Mr. Basketball in Tennessee.
Hogman coming in from the wing. Oh, he missed the lay-in. Too strong, but underneath on the follow, Gray is fouled.
Hogman really put a move on Oliver Miller. The problem that time, he had 4 hands on the ball. Unfortunately for Vegas, they were all their own.
First on Hury. Foul was on Hury, 6th team foul. And at the conclusion of this game, Billy and I will select a Chevrolet most valuable player of the game from each team. And in their honor, Chevrolet donates a $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund of each school.
Jim, one of the things that makes Stacey Augmon, in my opinion, maybe the most valuable player in the United States, is he is now in the backcourt. So no matter where you put him, he can guard any one of 4 positions. He'll probably be on Mayberry now, shifting up on over from playing against Day. So a different matchup.
Missing them both. 1 of 4 from the line for Gray.
There is Stacey Augmon on Mayberry. That's turnover.
Walking on Todd Day as he was going up for the 3. He saw Ackles in his face.
Well, George Ackles can move out, just as David Butler did last year, move out on the perimeter and really guard somebody.
Anderson Hunt, who was the most valuable player at the Final Four, he is back in. Gray sits. Hunt, to me, is always the forgotten guy on this team. MVP of the Final Four, was the MVP of the matchup against Arkansas last year when he had 28 against him.
Greg Anthony wide open here.
They got it over to him. Hits the side of the backboard, and now it's a 2-on-1. Day will shoot it over Hunt. Soft rebound comes back to Day, missing the short one.
There's your principle of verticality, a very well played situation by the defense and by the referee not to call a foul.
Blocked by Miller. Day has it.
3-on-1.
Lobbing it to Hury. 4-point Arkansas lead. Hury off the bench with 6.
You notice when Miller blocks his shot, how he keeps it in play. Probably does that better than anybody I've seen on the college level. Not a good pass. What a catch!
Ackles somehow came down with it. Now Miller to Day. What a pass! That's the largest lead of the season on UNLV. A 6-point lead. And a timeout called by the Runnin' Rebels.
Daytona 500 spots.
Well, Jim, we've seen Billy Tubbs' clubs at Oklahoma throw the baseball pass as well as anybody as a team, but we're seeing out here a great example of baseball passes, length of court by Larry Johnson and Oliver Miller. Change back in his zone, 1 time down after a timeout. Johnson starting to try to use that left hand. They need to go him more inside.
Loose ball comes to Mayberry. Into the corner to Bowers.
Here comes Day. Nobody's got him.
Floating free for a 3. There it is. Too strong. Rebound by Johnson. And a 3-on-2. Augmon.
Boy, he altered that shot in the air. Now, what's happening, as you can see, anytime Johnson and Eccles can control the boards, they're sending 3 out on the break. Arkansas only has 2 back. Vegas goes zone. These teams mirror each other an awful lot, what they try to do in practice and in their defensive structure in the game.
Bowers, 3-point shot. Hury coming in for the rebound, crashing, but no rebound. It comes to Johnson. Another outlet to Augmon. In the corner is Hunt for a 3. In and out. And Bowers almost had it. Ackles.
Oh, what a push
move.
Yep.
Todd Day can't believe it.
Well, Bowers did push Stacey Augmon. There was no question about it.
Myers, his first, team foul number 7. This is the all-time record for scoring margin or margin of victory, and UCLA and that team back in 72, 30.3. And UNLV is almost, well, they're 2 points ahead of the pace right now, Billy.
And you have to remember a couple of things about those margins. Back in those days, there was no shot clock, so therefore teams could hold the ball. So you have to give UCLA some incredible credit then. And there was no three-point shot as well. So every game now has to be played at this type of pace. So I would say that because of the rule change, that statistic probably doesn't mean as much as it should.
Clyde Fletcher is in for Arkansas. His first appearance.
Zone defense now, 2-3.
Blocked from behind, but they call it a foul. They say Anthony got him on the top of the head. Gives a little slap.
Now, in this particular defense, Mayberry, primarily ball handler, is capable of the three. So is Bowers and Hury. So they do have three three-point shooters, even though Todd Day's not on the floor.
Mayberry with an assist to turnover ratio on the season of better than 3-to-1, but which is outstanding. I mean, that would in some years lead the nation in that category. But how about Greg Anthony this year? 6-to-1.
Chris Corsiani leading the nation in assists. Mayberry not far behind. But they're not giving Hunt anything outside at the three. He's open now.
Got it back over to him. And the perfect three by Hunt.
Against the zone. And what was smart about Anderson Hunt there, he stayed in position, realizing the zone was moving away from him. Now the 1-1-3 defense by UNLV. First time they've shown it today.
Bowers penetrates past Hunt. And
Larry
Johnson sees a man up ahead. It's Hunt. Mayberry shakes him out. Oh, and he still finds a way to get it down.
And it may be intentional.
Should be, Billy.
Yep. But I don't think they're going to get the call. It should be intentional with 2.
He tackled him.
How about the pass, though? We talked about the baseball pass. Larry Johnson, with a flick of the wrist, throws it about 60 feet. No question it has to be intentional. Shot goes. Larry Johnson just fired that ball on a line.
He's thrown more strikes today than Walter Johnson ever did. Hunt misses the opportunity for a three-point play. However, UNLV's back ahead by 1. This is a team that has not trailed at halftime since last year's Final Four when Georgia Tech led them by 7 in Denver.
Remember, at Vegas, though, Arkansas last year in the regular season led by 4 at halftime.
They
got just enough of the... In that particular case, Anthony coming from behind, it's so difficult as a jump shooter knowing that guy's chasing you from behind. You feel he's going to get a piece of the arm.
Foul call on Hury. Well, Leslie Visser talked about it in the pregame show, and on the pants of the UNLV players, they're wearing an extra patch, a patch to commemorate their friends from the Nellis Air Force Base in Las Vegas. That's the base where the stealth bomber comes out of.
Now, the way Larry Johnson hesitates, and you're going to get a free shot out of this, and I'll explain to you why. Larry Johnson has a double motion here on the foul shot, and what happens, Day started to move in the lane as Johnson put his first move on. Now watch, here goes the first move, then he has the second move, and Day went in on the first move, giving Larry Johnson another opportunity on that 1-and-1.
Johnson's got a big smile on his face. He's just laughing about that hitch move he has.
It's like an old Harlem Globetrotter play. Remember when they used to throw it at the basket and then still hold it in the hand? Everybody went in the lane. There it is. They're in the lane again.
Didn't call it that time, Billy. Augman chases it down for the rebound. Anthony going to Augman. Johnson. Let's see. They called him for it. Traveling on Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson needs a little bit more room in there to operate, because when Oliver Miller was in the game, he had to alter his shot, and that time, a very good job by Wallace. UNLV stays in the zone.
Day is calling for the alley-oop, but Murray takes the three and makes it his second of the game.
Hunt's out for the three-point shot.
And look at Bowers reach in, knock the ball loose. They thought it was off the foot of Augman. But they're saying a foul on Bowers. His second. Team foul number 10. So we'll call it the double bonus. A 2 free throw shooting situation. Next Sunday on CBS Sports, we'll have the Daytona 500 for you, starting at 12 Eastern time. By the way, Davey Allison has the pole position for that race you'll see next Sunday. Did it surprise you, Billy, when Augman and Johnson decided to come back this year? At that time, it looked like they would not be eligible for the tournament.
Well, they had a lot of options. You know, they could have gone pro. The other thing they could have done, they could have transferred out and played for some other school. But they have tremendous loyalty and devotion to, as I mentioned at the top of the show, to Jerry Tarkanian and their school. So I applaud him.
Wallace blocked by Johnson. Gets it back. And the tip-in try by Morris. Ackles gets it for UNLV. 4 minutes remaining in the first half. UNLV with a 1-point lead.
Tough shot. Tough shot. He wasn't ready.
Had Bowers right in his face also. Here's the walk-on, Ernie Murray.
You notice how Anderson Hunt is setting up over in that spot, but he's got to realize that Arkansas is playing him all the way for the three. Maybe he can pump fake, drive by, and look inside.
Day with a tough pass to Morris, and it's knocked out of bounds off UNLV. Got a timeout with UNLV coming back from 6 down to take a 1-point lead. About this game since the turn of the new year, and it's been very difficult for Arkansas to stay focused on its Southwest Conference game, very nearly losing to Houston on Thursday night. Coming back to win that game in the late going.
Day has himself placed all the way over the deep corner for his jump shot. Good job by Ackles to come all the way out from underneath and made the switch with Larry Johnson in the zone.
Bowers in the corner to Murray. 1 on the shot clock. Morris not in time. Not in time. No basket. Did not get it off in time. The shot clock expired. Take away the go-ahead basket. Applying pressure on Greg Anthony.
These teams really match up well, don't they? Great guard play, about the same size position.
So similar.
Bowers out there. Hunt hasn't had anybody guard him like this all year.
Anthony gets the free basketball. Murray released early. He was looking for the snowbird basket at the other end. And there's a steal by Murray, working hard.
Wallace didn't realize Day was behind him.
And after a 3-on-1 opportunity, shuts down for him. They'll reset with Murray taking over the point spot with Mayberry on the bench. Bowers make a move past Augman, driving the baseline. Murray.
His third try for a 3. Doesn't hit that one. First time today.
3-on-2 at the other end. Whoa! Yes! I thought that was over the basket. I thought it was over the entire backboard.
He went up a good, what are we going to say, Jim? 18 inches easy above the rim. Easy 18. And how about the fear of coming down?
4 dunks for Augman in the first half.
Zone has taken a little of the tempo away from Arkansas here, and now Day couldn't have any luck on one side of the court, went to the other.
Oh, Wallace takes him out.
That's got to be intentional. It's the second time today. Wallace just ran into him. No intent whatsoever to play the ball.
So right after Todd Day ties it again, UNLV.
Look, if that's not an intentional foul, then there's never been one in college basketball. You've got to call this. Now we're going to see the lob pass. I said 18 inches. I probably underestimated. That could have been 2 feet.
Yep.
But, Jim, on that call, the way these players are playing, you can't allow a fellow to come down and make that kind of almost tackle in the open court area. You've got to set a precedent there. I'm very surprised. Second time today that the call has not been made, and that one was an obvious one.
So Augman will shoot 2. Look at his numbers in the first half. It's already over his average. He averages 17. He now has 18.
Well, Stacy was 9 for 11 against Michigan State, 9 for 12 against Rutgers, 9 for 12 against UAB. He has put some numbers up.
1:30 to go in the first half.
So they stay in the zone. UNLV's played a lot more zone in this game than I anticipated, particularly when you consider the perimeter shooters that Arkansas has out there.
Bowers 3. Boy, this guy has really turned it around in the shooting department since last year. A career 40% shooter, now 53%.
Zone press. Augman tries to beat it with the dribble.
It's off the foot of Augman, and luckily Anthony picked up the loose ball. Spencer dumps it inside to Johnson. Oh, in and out. And Fury has it knocked out of his hands, out of bounds, Arkansas basketball.
Larry Johnson just turned, realized he's supposed to put that one away down in low. He has not gotten out in track so far today on offense. And here's that 1-1-3 zone. Now watch the switch out front. Augman and Anthony will go ahead and cross after the first pass. They hold their ground as Arkansas looks like they just want to hold it for one.
Well, they'll run it down to about 15, 20 seconds left on the game clock. That's as far as they can go with it.
And you know what's so tough in the zone right now is that Arkansas has surrounded the zone with 4 excellent three-point shooters. Bowers, Mayberry, Day, and Uri all can hit it from out there. They've really extended that zone.
Must move it now. 5 on the shot clock. And not a good shot, but Mayberry makes it. Oh, an off-balance 3. That was taken too early, but there's Augman alertly picking it up.
Keeps it alive 3 times, 4 times.
And the half is here. For the first time since Denver, UNLV trails at the intermission.
At the same margin they trailed Arkansas last year in Las Vegas.
UNLV came back to win that game a year ago, 101-93. 12 lead changes in the first half, and the score at halftime, Arkansas 50, and Nevada, Las Vegas 46. Pat O'Brien will be back with the Prudential at the half and a Gulf War update from CBS News after this message and a word from your local station.